Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Keep It Simple. In this episode, we'll be covering the difference between flipping and rental portfolios. So when I started out in real estate, my first property that I purchased was actually a rental property. Now, I bought this property around Temple University where I graduated. This property was a complete shell that I renovated, I fixed up, I added value to, and I was able to rent this property out for the same amount of rent that I was paying a month, which was $2,000. Started out as a really good deal. My first property, the mortgage was about $500. We made $2,000, so we cleared about $1,500 a month. But then over time, the mortgage went up to about $800, where now we were only clearing about $1,200 a month. Now, the issues that I had with this property was because I was such a young investor, and all my tenants, which were college students just like me, actually my first group of tenants were in my class. So some of the challenges that I was faced with just were, people being my age and they were late on the rent, and then I would have to basically try to go ahead and capture that rent, and it was just a lot of back and forth there. Or when they would do lockouts and I would have to charge them a $50 lockout fee, they were like, "Oh, come on, man! Like, you're gonna charge me $50 to, for going out last night and forgetting my keys or losing my keys?" And it was like, "Yeah, because I don't want the phone call at 2 a.m. to have to come, let you guys back into the property." So these were some of the back and forths that I went with. So I quickly transitioned into doing flips because I could then buy the same shell, renovate it, add value to the shell, and then sell it on the top of the market and walk away with a big check. And I like that money better than going back and forth with the tenants when I first started out. But now in my career, I cannot do one without the other. I really still like flipping, and when I do the flips, I take that profit and I roll it back into my rental portfolio. Now, what's the difference between flipping and renting? Now, with the flips, it's the same with the rentals, where we're buying properties. The way we buy them is that we use our own wholesale marketing. Now, when we market into these areas, we cherry pick from the wholesale deals that we get, because some we do sell off to other investors, but the ones that we want for our own portfolio, our own pipeline, we typically pick out the best deals. Now, when we buy our flips, we go in, we buy them with financing, and then when we buy them with finances, we go and we do the whole renovation, renovate the property from top to bottom, put it on the market, sell it at the top that we can sell it at. Now, when we sell this property, we do get a lump sum, and what we do with this lump sum is we stockpile cash to then take this money and roll over into our rental portfolio. But with that money that you do make off the flips, if you sell this property in under 12 months, you do get hit with capital gains tax. So you do pay a lot of taxes when it comes down to flipping. So that's I would say is a con to flipping, is because you do get the lump sum, but it is heavily taxed. Now, once you are done with this property, you're able to walk away from it, take this money and reinvest it, where you don't have to deal with the headache of the tenants. Now, on the other side, when you're doing rentals, now you can take the same approach doing your wholesale marketing, picking out your rentals, taking the money that you made from your flips and now investing it into your rental properties. Now, what I've learned over time, same thing I'm sharing with you guys, is that you don't have to be the one managing these properties. You don't have to be the one dealing with the headaches of the tenants. You don't have to be the one dealing with the calls at 2 a.m. When they're locked out. You can then hire a property management company where you would pay them 5%, 6%, maybe as high as 10% of the actual income on the property to do the management, so you don't have to deal with the tenants. And also, in doing what's called the BRRRR strategy, that could also be treated as flipping, because you're buying the property at a significant discount. You're adding value to the property, doing the renovation, so now the property is worth so much more than what you bought it for. Now, when you do your refinance, you should be able to collect all the money that you put down in the down payment plus some. So this BRRRR strategy can actually feel like you're flipping at the same time, but the goal with the rentals is to have long-term passive income where you continuously get paid from the same property for the next 10 years, 20 years, or whenever you decide to sell. Now, some of the rental properties that we do have are short-term holds, where we treat them like a flip, but we just may not sell in the first year. We may not sell in the second year, but our goal is to sell within the first 1 to 5 year mark, after we catch some appreciation, after we gain more equity, and after the tenant that's currently inside the property pays down the loan, so that way we get higher profit margins when this property does actually eventually sell. Now, so to be clear, they both require renovations, but it depends on the level at which you acquire this property. Some level of renovation may be, again, a full rehab where you take everything out and put it back in. Another level of renovation may be where you just go after properties where you just have to do cosmetic repairs, and it's not a high level of rehab where you're knocking out walls, reframing the entire property. You could just basically do the kitchen and bathroom renovations, which will give you the value in terms where you could go ahead and rent this property out or even sell this property on the market. So what I need you guys to do is comment below and let me know, what strategy do you like the most? Do you like flipping, where you're able to turn over a property in a short period of time and get a lump sum? With this business, you are able to scale, so it may start out with just you finding the properties, renovating the properties, and then selling them on the market. But because you're making such a lump sum off of each property, you're able to hire what's called a construction project manager. You're able to hire assistants. You're able to hire a full-time realtor that could find you deals and sell you deals, where now you're able to scale this business and be less hands-off, but still get a lump sum at the end. And you can actually do the same thing with your rental portfolio. You hire a realtor that can identify deals for you, or do your own wholesale marketing. Then you will hire what's called a property manager to manage the rental portfolio for you once all the construction is now complete, and you get to continue to reap the benefits of the cash flow over time. So I want to leave it up to you guys to let me know what you think is the best strategy. Again, I choose to do both. I call it a double-edged sword, where I can flip and then take the money that I make from my flips and put it right into my rental portfolio, which allows me to aggressively grow my rental portfolio, which allows me to, one, build wealth, increase my passive income each month. My tenants pay down the loans on the property, and as my properties gain appreciation, gain equity, and I do decide to sell 2, 5, 10 years later, then I will walk away with, again, a nice, big, hefty lump sum. All right, again, Patrick Jeune here, a millennial real estate investor, and thanks for checking out our channel. Let's keep it simple. Again, no baby food. Let's go.